Hi, and welcome to another theory lesson. Today we're going to be talking about rhythm. Now, for this lesson, we're just going to define a few terms. Now, one of the things is a lot of these terms are used somewhat interchangeably. The definitions are somewhat nebulous. People will have different ideas about how they're defined. Don't get too caught up in it. I can only teach what I know and how I define these things, and let the long white bearded theory mages in their ebony and ivory towers debate the differences, because you get a long white beard as soon as you become a theory mage. It doesn't matter what your sex or gender is. It just happens. It's part of the deal. Now, we'll start from the smallest kind of rhythmic unit and build our way upwards. So the smallest thing possible is the pulse. Now, the pulse is just some kind of constant thing in your head, or maybe a metronome or something like that, that keeps everything together. And it should be the smallest, so that no matter what type of note you're getting, no matter how rhythmically small, whether it's a 32nd note, an eighth note, or a 128th note, whatever, you're able to play whatever it is because you have that constant pulse going. Now, the pulse doesn't tell you anything about where something falls or anything like that. It's just kind of going like dot 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 dot. From that, it's impossible to tell where's the 1, where's the 5. It's just there and constant. Now, the beat is whatever it is that you number it, however you put it together and organize it. So if we have a pulse that's just dot 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 dot, we might have a beat that's 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Or maybe we have a pulse in eighth notes and our beats are every quarter note, at which point you would get 1 2 3 4. Now, we have a lot of ways to count both beat and pulse. You might have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that way you're kind of doing both at the same time. Now, I have some other ideas about beat, but I'll get to those in a little bit. Next, we'll just talk about rhythm. Now, I don't mean like, what is rhythm? I mean like when you're talking about just the rhythm of a measure or a piece or whatever, it's just the actual points over time where music is playing. So far, the pulse and the beat might essentially just be in your head. You might not have a hit every eighth note, every quarter note, every dotted quarter note, every whatever. But the rhythm is was where there's actually hit. So if we have a beat every quarter note and a pulse of eighth notes, so we have our 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and maybe our rhythm is notes on 1, 3, and 4, and so that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that would be a simple rhythm. Now, rhythm can change from measure to measure, or really in any type of way. Maybe it's similar rhythmic ideas throughout, whatever. It doesn't make much of a difference. Now, the other idea I want to talk about a little bit is syncopation, which is when your rhythm stresses are not on the beat. So if you reduce your rhythm down to just these are the points that are important in understanding this rhythm. These are ones where it's like, but that's not on the 2, that's not on the 4. So maybe if we have our same beat unit that we've been using as our example, quarter note using an eighth note pulse, maybe it's you have things on the 1, the upbeat of 1, and then the upbeat of 2 and the upbeat of 3. So if you have this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and dot 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 dot, and that might be what you have as an example of syncopation. Now, obviously, syncopation isn't interchangeable with the rest of those, but syncopation is a part of rhythm. Now, I said I have some strange ideas about beats. Now, if you want your children to grow up to be respectable people, don't let them watch this part of the video until they're older. It's dangerous ideas. They'll make me all go Socrates and drink some hemlock for corrupting youth minds or whatever. But I don't personally think that a beat needs to be symmetric. What I mean by that is if you're in 7/8, I think 7/8 really describes as a pulse. Your beat might be quarter note, dotted quarter note. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pulses per measure, what that would end up sounding like is dot, 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 and that might be your actual beat. Now, maybe you disagree. That's fine. Like I said, some of this ends up being in kind of nebulous territory. I mean, rhythm is one of the most underexplored areas of Western music. So there's really a lot of freedom, and in my opinion, a lot of really cool things you can do with rhythm. It's just about, immersing yourself enough in all the weirdness that you can start getting there. Anyway, that's really what I have to say for this first kind of short rhythm lesson. We'll start getting into some more exciting rhythmic stuff later, but I hope you're having a great week.